prosperity is the ability to use God's power to meet the needs of mankind. In the realm of life, you can have all the money and be poverty-stricken spiritually, poverty-stricken mentally, poverty-stricken physically. Established covenant, we're now about to close. And established heart. This is what I've just mentioned. God has established his covenant in the earth. Everything God does, it is determined by his covenant. Everything that God is doing, he looks at his covenant first. If you are going to be looking at anything that is not going to be influenced by the covenant of God, it's a waste of time. God has established covenant for salvation. If you are going to be saved, you need the word for the salvation. If you are going to be healed, you need the word for the healing. If you are going to prosper, you need the word for prosperity. If you are going to be delivered for deliverance, you need the word for deliverance. Though that is what we call God's covenant. You need that word. God's covenant has been established in the earth. Now man must establish his heart in God's covenant. Not God establishing. God has already established his covenant, and his covenant is his word. If God is saying give, give. So the question, this is an established word. It's an established covenant. And this covenant is there. And you have to establish your heart in what? In God. It is the combination of the established heart, covenant of God, and what? And yes, your established heart in this covenant that produces results. Combination of the two. It is the combination of the established heart, covenant of God, and your established heart in this covenant that produces results. Nothing else. If these two things are not in combination, then you're not going to make it in life. You can claim it. Barcelona, you can claim it and say, God, things happen. Let me tell you something. If it is going to be prosperity, true prosperity, it is the combination of an established covenant, covenant of God. It is the word of God. You may not hear this message again. Problem here too, we have surrounded our lives with everything that we see and occupied our minds with everything that you think that is prosperity. That's why people are involved in corruption. They are doing what they can do, whatever they can do, sell their souls because of they think that they are going to make it in the world. In the world, you can make it for 5 years, for 10 years. In the world, we are compared to a world. Now, long to China is 10. Kukomnyaza ufika kuyathi jonga ofanele bhetele ngoku wena sikhaba lo ukhatyuswe pha ukuthi ulambe wena. The world, but God, when you have established your heart with God's covenant, you're into what God has prophesied, about your life, it has to come to life. Awungena Yesu awukho kwi-covenant, usistranger kwi-covenant of the law of God, of his word. Established covenant, you are not part of it. And how we act as believers, we act as if we do not have ears. It's amazing about I just since you are questioning don't nigga. Says, I question the Jesus that he claims to have. Because if you truly have Jesus, Jesus will never resist giving. Because Jesus himself was a sacrifice. We go around and claiming to have Jesus. Who is this Jesus? is in your life. That is why the spirit of the world, when people are with the political organization, they give a lot. Because they carry the spirit of a political organization of the world. Giving is the heart of God. Person who does not give and claims to have Jesus. As well as nigger pumutul. Everything that you are going to live with it, it's a promise. Now that promise within is that word. It carries a covenant. Remember I said that God, it is in a step in the law. When God speaks something, it becomes it is tend to be a law. And that law is an established covenant. Now the Bible says now, then when you were without Christ, you were what? Strangers in what? And aliens with what? In the Commonwealth, 21, there's a gathering of those people that are blessed by God. And then what? And then also strangers in what? In the covenant, in the established covenant of promise. And having no hope. Even when you came to have hope, there's no hope. Yini bazalwane uzilahlekisa ngoSathane anawukwazi ukuba eshumi ngoba kwale mali ndiyamkelayo incinci iphele ezandleni apha. I'm reading a book by a rabbi from Israel, but a born again rabbi. Because I read. So I read and I wanted to know about tithe. They say they never took a tithe to be a tithe. They acknowledged to be having earnings. In fact, their approach to a tithe is this. They say it's like you are working for Pastor Kuse, and Pastor Kuse promises you that you are going to earn by a commission. Then what is going to be happening, there's always 10% that is there in the company. When you are building up upon that 10%, you're 90%. So while you are working you're 90% up. That is why the principle of the founding fathers in America, they never regarded a tithe as ubulaleka to carry a tithe and going outside. They understood it. 10% is something that you build upon. That is why the whole world, there's no country that has got more charities than America. And there is no country that is continuing. In America, it carries half of the wealth. That is equal to the wealth. Is it half? Half of the whole world. You only million. You have America. Because the founding fathers, they understood the principle of tithing. So, in other words, they took their monies and it was given for charity. And that is why they are able to touch many nations. And the nation, even here in Africa, and I looked at this idea of this tithe, because once you count the tithes, count it within your money, say it belongs, that is no longer a tithe. I say when you earn 2,000, say I earn 1.8. Finish. It's not about to reach. Amen. That is why umbona bakekho right uthandaza ubona ba ayondawo right mkakui. And if it him Lord, nami ngibona wrong mkakumi. Leave that ministry, because you are not going to prosper. Uzawuthi uncame. Because the principle stands, believe the man.